Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I have my March Graphics Fairy Design Team project to show you. And as a design team member, I am given a membership to the Graphics Fairy Premium site, which I will link down below, and that gives me access to all the images for my projects. They release a new bundle of amazing images every week, and so inspiration is unlimited. And I fell in love with the Millinery bundle, which I believe was released a couple of months ago. And here is just the printout of the individual images that you get in the bundle. And I was really also inspired by the story that the Graphics Fairy team put along with the bundle of Hattie, who is a third-generation hat maker from Philadelphia. And because I love a story to go with my journals, my journal also belongs to a hat maker, and her name is Clara, and her shop is in Victorian, London. And that location allowed me to include some French ephemera because I know for sure Clara made trips to Paris to source fabrics and trims and get inspiration for her hat creations. The journal is a little hardcover. It's about 4x6, 1.5" spine. I haven't counted the pages yet, but that will be in my Etsy listing. It's got a little bit of lace here on the spine, and I've done a hollow spine so the pages aren't glued to the spine because it is a little chunky, and that allows the pages to lie a little flatter for journaling. It is fairly unembellished because it's Clara's work journal. So she takes orders in this, she designs in this, she'll sketch in this, she saves receipts and different ephemera that advertising that she might need. So it's a more practical journal. I did add a little metal book plate here with a piece of parchment and some metal book corners just for some added interest. And so we'll go through this pretty quickly because what I really want to show you and can't wait are the goodies that go along with it. So we'll look at the journal first. And I also will link the blog down below. I've done a write-up about the journal and listed all the bundles I've used. I'll try to remember as I go through which ones I have used. But if not, it's all in the blog post. So going inside, the end papers, front and back, are from the, I have a little note here, Spring Meadows end papers. And I didn't match them. I didn't do matchy-matchy because I loved them both and I couldn't choose. But then I thought this one went really well with this dress. And this one went really well with the back page. Just beautiful. This is actually one of the free images from the blog. And I love antique magazine images. On the back of a lot of them, I've lightened it up, I've reduced the opacity of one of the wallpapers from the Wallpaper Samples bundle, so you can still journal on the back. Lace, there are lace pages, parchment paper, tea-dyed paper, we've got vintage tracing paper. Here is a page from a reproduction of a 1900s catalog. Drawing paper, this is vintage note paper, there's scrapbook papers, here are a couple of pockets and a cabinet card. On the backs of most of the ephemera I've printed from the delicate end papers, and then of course it's light enough you can still journal on it. This is from the Millinery bundle, look at how beautiful. One of the journaling cards. And this is, I believe, from the pastel advertising bundle, which I've used a few of the images from that. It's a beautiful, beautiful bundle. The center page here, and another pastel advertising, another cabinet card. I really like the backs of the cabinet cards. I just think it's beautiful typography and designs. And this is from the 1907 Beauties. I love this postcard, but I especially love her hat, so she needed to be included. And the other side of the hat catalog, another lace page, couple of advertising. This one is from the Millinery bundle. And this is, I believe, a French gardener, because I thought perhaps they would use some natural dyes to dye their fabrics and laces. So I thought that was a fun little piece of ephemera to include. Scrapbook papers, there's more lace. Here is another, this is another of the images from the blog, the free images. Some music paper. Lots of journaling space in this. Oh, this, I love this one. This is from the Millinery bundle. Ostrich feathers ad. And a vintage fabric I had in my stash that I thought went really well with this. I created a couple of pockets and just added a coordinated journaling card to them. Lace. Scrapbook paper. That's the other side of that French garden ad. A delicate end paper. This is from the Lace Maker. It's one of the journal pages. I just reduced it in size just for just a little bit of different interest going through and some color, pop of color. Another French receipt. And another catalog page. If it looks plain on the back, I did print on the back a very, very light tea-dyed paper. So it's not just bright white. This is a London map, and this is from the Emma bundle. A little flip out here. More hats. The other side of that French receipt. And the other side of that page, just beautiful. Here are a couple more advertisements. And some more scrapbook paper, flip out. Here in this glassine envelope, these are just the offcuts from the hat pages. I knew I had to tuck them in, but I want to look at the prices. $1.18. So we've got that, a vintage postcard, and a page from a vintage wildflower book. Some more music paper. Here's some piano roll paper I sewed to some tea-dyed paper just to give it a little more stability. Another of the free images. And here's the other fabric pocket with another coordinating journal card. We'll flip out. Another of, I love the end papers, another of the delicate end papers. And this is from the Vintage Papery bundle. It's a journal page, just beautiful. That's included in that bundle. Here's a little tuck spot. This is from the Lace Maker bundle. And just a couple more pieces of ephemera. Another lace page. Drawing paper again. Some scrapbook paper. Another of the free images. And in this little glassine envelope, I printed the sheet of circles that's in the Millinery bundle onto cardstock, and then I just back them to each other. So they're just little interesting pieces of ephemera, like little coins almost. Just some colorful, little inspiring pieces throughout the journal you can add, or you could even punch a hole and create little charms. Flip out there. Love this. And another end paper. I think this is from the Seamstress bundle, if I remember correctly. And here she is, tea-dyed vellum pocket. And here's Clara. And I just created a little mini cabinet card with the back there, just printed on cardstock and glued them together, so it's thick. And there she is, our hat maker. Another French receipt. This is some vellum. A poetry page, Emily Dickinson, which I love to include. More piano paper. And here's another, this is from the blog, another free image. Some more tracing paper. And in this pocket's a vintage playing card. And then this photograph is from the Chelsea Flower Show inspired bundle. Of course, they're wearing hats. The other side of the receipt. More drawing paper and another advertisement. And so that's the little journal. And then along with that, if she was speaking to clients, Clara has some textile samplers. And these are from the pastel advertising bundle, these labels. And this is from the lace maker bundle. And I just made them, I use them as toppers. And these are all sewn with just kind of a running stitch. You could pull that out and use the fabrics and ribbons. So there's laces and beautiful dyed velvet. Fabrics, more vintage lace. Here's some more of the dyed velvet. Velvet ribbon, there's some sari trim. And fabric and lace. I love these so much. This was a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people do these and I may never stop now. It was so much fun. Another piece of sari trim, velvet ribbon, and then another piece of the dyed velvet. I've kind of been hoarding the velvet that I got, and so I knew it was time to start sharing it. Lace, fabric, some more vintage lace, and then this one has some little thin velvet ribbons, some rickrack, a little doily, and just some more fabric and another vintage lace. And then in the little box here, this I think is from the mini ephemera bundle. And I added this little metal book plate with the label there. And there's a bunch of stuff in here. So the first thing is I made 3 little booklets with scraps, tea-dyed scrapbook papers, and then just paper scraps, extra journaling little booklets. Here are a couple of the journaling cards from the Millinery bundle, and I'll show you that sheet. And here they are. Beautiful. And on the back, I print the light colored tea-dyed paper. So that's what they look like. And so I left them together. I didn't cut them apart and use them as pages. And then we've got a couple of button cards. This one I embellished, and this one I added the buttons to the printable. And then we've got a little pin cushion with some pins, and this is a vintage millinery flower from an antique hat. I just tucked that in. And then here's some petals from an antique hat. And on this little postcard I added a velvet ribbon and some pins. These you can stick paper in or something in, but I love these pins. I believe these are Tim Holtz. And then we've got 2 little jars here, glass jars. They're not sealed. One has buttons, one has beads, and then there's a little scroll of tea-dyed paper in there for some secret journaling. Got those. And then from the seamstress bundle, I've got the ribbon holders and the mini envelopes. And these I printed onto cardstock and glued back to back so it's nice and thick, and added some flower trim, little pins, vintage safety pins, some ribbon, some gray rickrack, and then these I just put in a couple little pieces of ephemera. So some more secret journaling if you want. I love these, they're so pretty. Another one there, and then a couple of the circles in there. And then here are 3 envelopes also from the seamstress bundle, and I just printed them out and I clipped them, but they are not sealed, so each of them can be opened up and you can journal inside. So got that one, just so pretty. And then this envelope is from the mini ephemera bundle, and I love this. This blue envelope, it's French, is just beautiful. So I printed the 2 images, glued them together, and just left them open on the top as if it had been opened by a letter opener. And then inside I've tucked a French receipt. And then this little envelope has a die cut with the slots. And then I've just tucked in some more of the circles. A couple of extra paper clips. And again, the double-sided circles. And then inside, another vintage playing card and another piece of ephemera. And I believe this is from the Millinery bundle as well. So I think that is it. I know it's a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun putting this stuff together, and I hope you find some inspiration. Thank you for spending some time with me and watching, and I will see you back here again real soon. Bye-bye, everybody.